with Inspire Me 360, and I wanted to talk to you this morning about the power of 369. And I'm sure you've seen lots of videos about this on the internet. Tesla's sort of favorite numbers, especially the number 3. I wanted to explain it from maybe a little bit more of a logical viewpoint in terms of manifestation, and really just clarify what all of this means. Because again, we can hear some of these new age terms: manifestation, law of attraction, creating the life you've always dreamed of. But what does it really mean, like in practicality? So from my experience, obviously, I've never had anything just fall out of the sky because I said, a series of things 3 times or 6 times or 9 times, or I wrote in a journal. You do have to put in a tremendous amount of hard work. And I know that a lot of, channels or gurus will be stating that, it should be effortless, it's a flow state. But then I always want to circle back to what are they selling you? Are they selling you a course? Are they asking you to buy something that they are essentially saying, well, it's good, but buy my book? Or, if you follow this way and go to my seminar, then you'll really know the truth. One of the things that I want to really be clear about in all of the ways that I teach is I don't want anything. I'm not launching, products or things that are meant to make money. I have my own colleges that I have the ability to sustain myself with those. This is just pure teaching that I've found works incredibly well within my own life. And the goal is to help each and every individual that's interested in this information to get as far as they possibly can in life. And that's not just to, to save financially. It's also in terms of joy, love, the family dynamic you're living in, the way that you feel in each and every moment of your day. I think that's actually the most powerful or the most important aspect of living, is that if in each and every moment you can feel peace, joy, love for your life, really connected to others around you. So not just rushing around or irritated because people are asking you questions, but the ability to be really tuned in to those around you and love the experience of experiencing them, love the experience of experiencing your environment. So circling back to this idea of 369, one thing that I do, and I layer it with multiple things that I'm doing to help create a beautiful existence, is I will write down and say my upcoming goals 3 times in the morning, 6 times at lunch, 9 times in the evening. Now, the reason I'm doing this, it's not that necessarily there's some magical force, which I do believe in the quantum field, okay? I do believe that when we ask, it's given, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come exactly as you thought it would come. And it also doesn't mean that that the time that you want it to come is immediate, right? Because depending on what you ask for, the universe has to prepare things for you to get that goal, right? It's preparing you always, continually, preparing you to be a better version of yourself. So again, the spoken word is very powerful. There are many, many metaphysical teachers that teach the principle that your word is your wand. So essentially, the spoken word is more powerful than we understand. It's a vibration. So when we are vibrating through the mechanism of our speech, we are actually affecting the quantum field. So that vibratory complex that's going out, and each word carries with it a vibrational pattern. We see this with the different studies with water, when water is spoken to and it will create different crystalline structures when it's frozen. That's basically the imprint of the vibrational frequency of the words that you're speaking. Because again, we have a vibratory universe that we're living in. Sound crystallizes, sound and light are very connected into everything within our being. Okay, and again, we are predominantly made of water. So what's happening inside of our body system is very closely connected to the science of sound, light, water. What happens to these elements is happening to us as well. So just really paying attention to all of the words that you're saying, internally and externally. I'm of the opinion that when you speak a word, it does calibrate more powerfully, okay, because there's actually a sound coming out of you. But the internal word that you are hearing inside your head is also powerful, because if you think of yourself as an operating system, and that the words that you are speaking are basically the code in which you're interacting with your own interface and then what you're seeing externally, they're extremely powerful. They are going to be dictating to you what you are doing moving forward and what you are thinking and feeling. So again, I was saying in the morning, I'm writing it down and saying it aloud 3 times, the upcoming goals I have, noon 6 times, and bedtime 6 times. And you do want to write it. Sometimes I find that it's a lot to write because I have a lot of goals. So I will just simply read it aloud as the day goes on and maybe write it 3 times in the morning. Again, you don't want to exhaust your hand. You don't want to overdo it, but this is really part of intention. If you have the intention to be able to do this 3 times a day, you're really reminding yourself what your goals are. You're bringing it back to the conscious mind. So we want to do 2 things in terms of our neural patterning and when we're adjusting our neural patterning. Basically, we want to really ingrain what we want to see manifest and what we want to experience in our subconscious. So the repetition and this pattern-like delineation of this information that you want to see kind of out manifest, by doing it in this repetition state, you are affecting the subconscious because you're really repeating it and you're causing your brain to create these new neural pathways, and the frequency in which you think these thoughts really solidifies the neurological pathways. It just means that all of those little synapses are going to be moving closer together and they're actually going to be communicating faster, therefore pulling all of the resources that you have towards making your goals come true. And again, from the conscious mind, when we're doing this 3 times a day, we're always doing, another very conscious thing. We're reminding us to do this activity 3 times a day, but in and of doing that, we're actually thinking about it more often than we realize. And that is the catalyst for us to pay attention to opportunities that might be knocking at our door that won't be in line with those things that we're wanting to manifest. I find, and this is again just my personal opinion, that when I'm doing this, a lot of things are pulled into my energy field, because when we are goal setting, when we are manifesting our dream life, it's a very positive experience. We're thinking about really amazing things. And usually, everybody's a little bit different. I tend to use visualization as well. So I'm writing the words, I'm saying the words out loud, I'm reading the words, and then I'm visualizing and actually seeing it play out in the theater of my mind. And when you're doing this constantly, again, it's really going to pull into your field the things you need to have all of your dreams and goals and the aspects of your best life kind of come into a synergistic alignment. It's kind of coalescing. So this is going to be a bit of a short video because I don't need to go on and on and on about this. But if you're finding that your manifestations or your goals and dreams are maybe on a slower track than you would like, then I have a little advice for that, and that is action. So great to write things down, great to speak them, great to think about them, great to visualize them. Now put in a lot of action. So whatever it is, do things that relate to it, even if it's free, even if you're not making any money, volunteer, really get to know the people that are going to help sort of crystallize your dreams, and have a little bit of patience, but excitement. The universe loves excitement. The more excited you are about your own dreams, the more likely they are to be pulled toward you. This magnetism that is created by being authentically yourself. So again, most of the time, dreams and goals are going to come from a very authentic place. And It should come from a place of desire, something that you really want to experience. And again, there's nothing wrong with experience. Again, I think in the modern age, like there's so much judgment on, you've got to be this way, or you need to follow this political party, or you need to have this ideology, and it's the right one, and there's the chosen ones, and this is what the chosen people do. And to me, that's very stifling and very scary. And I think you need to kind of let go of all of those kind of ideas and just return to a sort of innocence where, if you can remember back to being 5, 6, 7 years old, where you didn't really have a conception of the craziness that the rest of the world was doing. You just were in this beautiful, blissful existence of trying to get to know yourself or exploring the world. Everything was new and fresh. So you have to kind of go back into this state if you really want to manifest beautiful, incredible, fairy tale type manifestations. Because again, if you're too much connected into the social matrix, and if you are really bombarded continually with a lot of this negativity, it will really stifle your own creativity. So what I found with this whole action step is really pulling myself away from anything to do with looking at social media, and really loving the freshness of the beingness that is me, right? Like just being myself, kind of remembering back to when I was a kid, where I didn't have a concept of, any kind of weird apocalyptic visions, the scary sort of things that come into the world, or maybe the heaviness of adult life, because there's a lot of heaviness being an adult, financial obligations, family obligations, expectations at work, expectations, with the world at large. Everybody kind of always wants a piece of you as you get older. And so it's so, so, so important to drop back into this very innocent state where you can connect with your little me, I call it. It's just like that part of you that is free. It's a kid. It's still a kid inside. And that's the most beautiful energy, because the kid inside of you doesn't care about all of that stuff, doesn't care about politics, doesn't care about, any of the negativity in the world, doesn't even really conceive it. And I think that that's the closest state in terms of the mind of God. So hopefully, again, this helps you in terms of your manifestation. And we'll see you in the next video.